Hi my book friends. So yes, I'm on here for another video and I'm going to do another book review, guys, of this book that I just read. Hold on. Which is this, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys seen this, Verity, right? I don't have the hardcover, but I did read it on Kindle. So I decided after reading that book, because I know a lot of you guys have like team manuscript and team letter, I'm going to go for team letter, and I will explain why I'm going for team letter, guys. I know you'll probably be like, why she's not going for team manuscript. Well, anyways, first of all, I'm gonna start off with the book. I love the book. I'm definitely gonna rate it a 10 out of 10. I love it. It's really, so when I start reading the book, you got the main character. Her name is Lowen, right? She goes off, which I didn't understand the beginning. This random guy gets hit by a car and then blood starts splashing on her. I guess she was near the scene, but mind you guys, she was on her way for an interview or job offer. Her clothes get dirty with blood. So she ends up, everybody staring at her. She just witnessed a murder. Someone got, hit by a car crash. And then after that, she ends up going to this coffee shop. She meets this guy, Jeremy. He ends up locking the door in the men's bathroom because she tried to go to the women's bathroom and it was locked, basically occupied. So she ends up, or probably not working, but like she ends up going into the men's bathroom with Jeremy. That's how she meets Jeremy. He ends up giving her his shirt, for a stranger shirt, and she ends up taking it. She already threw away her shirt that had blood on it, right? So they start talking and stuff, how they're invisible in New York, because, this whole scene happens in New York, guys. So the beginning, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get a little bit interested in it. Someone get murdered, okay. Come to find out, when she go do the interview, the same guy she was talking to, Jeremy, in the coffee shop, is the same guy where she got the offer to do. She does the offer for him. And then she has Corey. Corey's her ex-boyfriend. It explains how she still links up with him. They're not together, but they still, have sexual intercourse together. But they're not actually together. He's kind of, I don't know. I don't like him. But when you guys read the book, you'll see why. I feel like he's very selfish and he only thinks about himself. Because once they mention the offer where she has to write like a book for Verity Crawford, that's the thing, and then she gets paid like this big amount of money. He's like, oh yeah, you should go do it and stuff, right? Saying that, oh, she should go do it because it's a lot of money, like $500,000 and stuff. And she's like, I don't know, because I don't feel comfortable writing someone else's, book and stuff, But he was like, oh, she'll write the book, but it'll be under a pen name, you know what I'm saying? So not under her real name, which is Lowen, like it'll be like under Laura or something like that. But she was just like saying she shouldn't do that because she's a writer herself and she write books too. So she, but Corey was like, oh, I think you should do it. And then Corey felt a little bit jealous because when she did decided to go that route to write, the books for Verity, Corey got a little bit jealous when she said, oh, she's gonna spend the night with him. Right, mind you, she said she's gonna spend the night for 2 weeks and do the book, finish up the chapters for Verity. Once she moves into the house, which gets kind of creepy, guys. Once she moves into the house, she meets Jeremy, she meets his son, Crew. He talk about his daughters, how they died, Harper and Chasten. She's like, okay, the house is big. She goes to this office, she meets Verity manuscript, and then once she gets the manuscript, she starts reading all this about Verity's personal life, what happened with the daughters, and things start getting ugly there, right? And then you would say to yourself, when you read the book, how can a mother do this to your child? It's very dark and bizarre. It has a little bit of romance, but I would say like this book is more of mystery and thriller to me, and I really love mystery and thriller books, guys. I really do. But like once you read the book, it gets a little bit dark in the middle, and you're like, then the son, she thinks at first the son don't like her and stuff, but the son is only 5 years old. Okay, so once it gets to that part, she just starts seeing weird things that happen in the house. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, when I was reading the book, I probably think to myself, maybe this is like some paranormal activity type of thing, ghosting, because I'm like, she's seeing things, and I'm like, okay, Verity, mind you, Verity is she got in a car crash. She can't no longer write her books no more. You know, she's disabled, and then she has a aide taking care of her, you know, so she's brain damaged, you know, so she's sitting in a wheelchair. She can't do things for herself. But when I'm reading the book, I'm like, is this paranormal activity? Because Lowen starts seeing things, and she like, oh, I gotta get out this house, right? And Jeremy's like telling her, oh no, you're just hallucinating and all this extra stuff, saying nice things to her to keep her to stay. And she like, no, I gotta go, right? So then she kind of think, okay, maybe Verity is faking her, you know, her sickness or whatever. She's faking brain damage. And I'm like, when I'm reading the book, I'm like, what is she talking about? How is she faking brain damage, right? Because I'm thinking, you know, maybe Lowen's bugging out. You know, how's she telling me that this lady is faking her own brain damage, you know, situation? Kind of find out when I started reading to the end, I was like, this book is crazy. So she really faked her own, you know, brain damage, right, guys? So I was like, wow, that is so crazy. And then I read the manuscript. Once she finished the rest of the manuscript, I'm like, this lady, Verity is crazy, right? I'm blaming everything on Verity. Once we get to the letter, and this is why I chose the letter, guys. Once we get to the letter part, it comes to find out that Jeremy is the bad guy. And I'm like, okay, maybe she did all this, you know, to put it as a different type of writing to make the person look like a villain. And I'm like, it kind of makes sense now, what she did. I believe, you know, maybe it is true, the letter, and that's why the author decided to put the letter inside by the end of the book before the epilogue, right, guys? So the letter makes it seem as if Jeremy's the bad guy, and then when I'm reading the book, Jeremy's actually a killer. I'm thinking he's a nice guy, and I'm like, oh, this guy is so nice to Lowen and all that, but listen, he is a killer. Never judge a book by its cover, guys. So once it starts to get to the end, I said to myself, okay, because Jeremy and Lowen helped kill Verity, which is crazy, because at first she was faking it. I'm like, oh, she is fucking psychotic. She was faking it, right? And then once they kill her and all that stuff, bury her and all that, she ends up finding the letter in the house. I thought maybe after they killed her, you know what I really thought, guys? I thought after they killed Verity, I thought her spirit was going to hunt both of them and drive them bizarre and crazy, because it was already getting, you know, sick as it is. But that didn't happen. Now, that's the reason why I chose Team Letter, because let me tell you another reason why. I read the book all the way to the very end, to the epilogue. So when I got to the epilogue, guys, the epilogue was very long. I think it's this is one of the books I read that had a long epilogue versus the other books I normally read. So when I got to the epilogue of Verity, guys, Patricia, that's Verity's old friend. I don't know. Honestly, I think Patricia is stalking them. I think she's stalking Jeremy and Verity, because how is it that she goes to the same place where they're at, the beach? I don't know. I find that kind of weird. I don't know, guys, if y'all find that weird when she goes to the beach and she ends up finding him too. But he ends up killing her. And that was so unexpected of me to think. Like, that was unexpected. I didn't know he was going to kill her, honestly. So when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. I think Jeremy is crazy. He killed his own wife, and then he turns around and killed Patricia. Who's to say he's going to kill Lowen, right? The son is crazy too, because I don't know if you guys read the part in the epilogue where he left Nova, the baby of Jeremy's baby, with Lowen, because Lowen had a baby with him. He left the baby outside because the baby was crying. Now, who's crazy? You got Jeremy, you got Verity, and then you got Crew. All three of them is crazy. Like, I don't understand, right? I don't understand. All three of them guys is crazy. So that's why I'm Team Letter, guys. And I really didn't want to tell you guys all of the book, because you got to read it. But I'm so excited, guys, that they're actually making a movie. Like, what? So yeah, I'm definitely down for that movie. And then they picked one of the greatest actors who played in Prada Wears what you call it? Prada Wears Red. No, The Devil Wears Prada. The Devil Wears Prada. I love that movie. That's based off of a book too. She's going to play in it, and I'm so excited. Anne Hathaway, that's her name. So guys, what y'all think? How you rate this book? I think the book overall was very bizarre to me. It was disturbing when it got to the points when she talked about how she killed her daughter in the manuscript. If you just based off the manuscript by itself, it's very disturbing. And once you read the letter that she's supposed to give to Jeremy, because honestly, Jeremy was supposed to read that letter, not Lowen, but she ended up just ripping up the letter and throwing it out and stuff like that. Because, mind you, what if it was the other way around? What if Jeremy would have read the letter, right? What if Jeremy would have read the letter? Maybe things would have probably went differently, you know what I'm saying? And kind of find out, and another reason why I say I'm team letter, because Jeremy read the manuscript way before, you know, Lowen even found out about it. So I don't think he hid it. He probably wanted Lowen to find the manuscript. So that way, like I said, she can be on his side and try to kill her. Like, I think this is all planned out. Jeremy staged the whole thing. Reason why, when you read the letter, he knew about the manuscript and he wanted Lowen to find out so they both could think she's crazy and she can help kill him, because that's basically what she did. She helped kill him. She let him kill him, choked her to death, and then buried her. They cremated her body. Not even buried, cremated her body. So there's no traces of nothing, you know. So anyways, another reason why I said, getting back, that I'm team letter is when he read the manuscript, she said she'd rather just drive herself into a tree, a car crash, and make it look like an accident. Why did Jeremy did the same thing to her? And that's how she ended up in the situation that she ended up with. He thought that he killed her, but he actually really didn't. That's why she pretended to be brain dead. But you know what? When I read that scene where she got on her knees, got on all fours, and tilted her head and looked at the monitor, that was my favorite chapter that I read. I was like, wow, this book, okay, T. But you know what? I hope this movie be really good. Now, a lot of people say that the book gave you jump scares. I honestly don't think that it gave me jump scares. I was getting kind of like, it was messing with my brain. I was getting mostly like mystery, thriller, psychotic. Not really getting that much romance. They talked about romance, but I'm not really getting that much romance. And honestly, guys, I'm not really a romance book person. Honestly, I will do rom-com. So I did a rom-com in December. But guys, this book, Verity, let me know